Okay, this is my brother's finds.
Finds, plural, finds. No, you show that one last, because that's the good ones. The rest of them are all busted up.
Should it be blinking here?
Okay, hold on.
Sarah. But if I worked down there long enough and hung around long enough, I'd eventually find a pink one if I kept hunting them.
You usually have pieces of pink ones, right?
Just a few.
A head or a top or a bottom?
This big base here, that's as close as I've came. No, I've got another top that's, see how much it's been worked. It was a solid piece, and then some of these pieces you find will be discarded pieces where they started them and it busted on them when they were working on it, so they'll toss them. But that's why there's so many busted up pieces. We've run over a lot of it with dozers and backhoes and my skid steer, but most of them I found, you look at the edges and they've been busted. They're not fresh. You can tell if it's a fresh bust or an old bust. And I'll even take and scrub them, you know, down and clean them, but you can tell because it's like that's fresh. That's a fresh bust there. I don't even know why I'm saving that. Guess I won't. Alright. What do you want me to do?
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Explain to us.
Okay.
I just hope this is recording.
These all came from southern Missouri, and it's from the Osage tribe, which is the tribe that lived on this land and all around here really. But there was a lot of tribes that passed through here when they were heading to their winter grounds down south, and they'd always stop by Bennett Springs because a lot of the locals lived there, and the tribes that went further south, they'd just pass through because the spring never freezes. There's always water in it. Any place you find water that is always running or it's always there, there's Indians that stayed there before. You can tell, you know, they're not stupid. They stay close to their water, their food source and their water. But anyways, most of these were found just by us busting up ground, building a campsite down there, probably on 150 acres or so. And you see most of them's all busted up. But every now and again, probably one out of every 40, 50 that I find to be a complete one like these. Most every one of these are complete, which is pretty rare. I mean, a few of them, like the bird tips, the little bitty ones here, the very tip might be gone off of them, but these are pretty much complete. And a few of these I found on my farm just from having a little dozer work done, like this tip here and that spearhead there, and there's some pretty cool ones. That's a drill. That's the only drill I've ever found. And they're kind of like tomahawk heads, you could call them. You can call them whatever you want to, but they're not native to here. The rock isn't, so they came from Ohio, and then the other tribes, as they passed through, headed south, they traded these. And Granddad found this right across there on the back 40. He was digging a corner post for his fence, and that sucker just popped up. But it's real rare to find one of these down here because they was trading material. They wasn't made down here. Stuff made down here probably more like this. It's more of a chopping head, I guess. And this was found, a tree grew up, and as it pushes rocks up, as it gets bigger, this was sitting on top. I don't know how long it was there, but that's the only way I was walking by and seen that, and I knew that it had been worked. You can look at a rock real quick and tell if it's been worked. Anybody that knows what they're doing, I could spot them from my truck or off a mower or anything and just glance at it and tell if it's been worked. But it took a while to get to that point where I could, you know, I'd have to pick each one up and study them, like these buckets here. These are all chips and pieces, and some of them aren't even identifiable, but they've all been worked. They've all got edges. They've been used as a scraper or a skinner or some type of tool. So this bucket too, and I've thrown a bunch of them away. I used to display these when I first started hunting them because, you know, it was cool finding one. And then after I started finding complete ones, I just started throwing them all in buckets, and I don't know what I'll do with them buckets, but Yeah, these are the bigger tools. This is a knife. This is complete. A knife and a scraper combo. You know, they cut with this edge, and then this back here they could scrape, skin with it. If you feel it, you could do about anything you wanted to with it. But it's kind of pretty cool, pretty decent size for a knife down here, anyways. Some of them's really old. This looks like a putty knife, but it's straight up and down. That's a tool. I don't know what it was used for. Probably to scrape hides. You know, scrape the meat off the hides, but it's been worked all the way around. It was probably, I don't know what it had on this end, but there's a lot of things I find like that you know it's a tool, but you know they made it for a reason. All these pieces like these are all tools that they use for one thing or another. And that's about all I got to say about that right there.